everybody, welcome back to the Afro Whisperer. I'm coming to you with this video on how to make a bone broth. As many of you know, I love using bone broth as a way to support healing in a number of different situations, from labor to chemotherapy to the common cold. And so today we're going to do a bone broth. Typically I use chicken feet, but I know the Saints is a little, squeamish about them little baby hands. So today, instead of using the bone broth, I'm actually going to make this bone stew, this bone broth, using oxtail. So this is a really, really nice soup slash bone broth, oxtail broth, that can be consumed to just help you feel better. And you know what? It's fall. We're going into the winter. We're going into all of these holidays where we eat and we're drinking, we snuggling up and all that kind of stuff. And so then, these bone broths, oxtail broths, these are things that you should just have going in your kitchen all the time, just to bring in the aroma. I was just so happy once the weather went below 70, because I was like, yes, some people like to break out their boots. I love breaking out the broths. So what we're going to do is, I have my oven set for 425 degrees. And I have a pack of oxtails here. Now, it's very important that whatever meat you use, you want to make sure that it's grass-fed, hasn't been treated with any hormones, because all of those toxins get caught in the marrow, in the gelatin, and in the fat of the meat. So we want to use high-quality bones, high-quality oxtails, high-quality chicken feet, whatever bones you use. You just want to make sure that you can source them and that they are of high quality. Okay, so for the first part of this bone broth, we're going to do some roasting. Okay, so I have my bones here, or I have my oxtails here. I'm going to roast half of this jalapeno pepper. I'm just going to do 3 of these, and we're going to keep, let's see, are we going to de-seed? We can go ahead and de-seed these. And I am not a chef, so if you're a chef, I know you're like having a conniption because I'm not using proper knife techniques. But we're going to put these 3 pieces of jalapeno in, okay? I have a tomato here. You can use Roma tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes, any tomatoes that you want, but I'm just going to use this tomato, this regular vine tomato, and I'm just going to cut it up into chunks. I'm not going to worry about this part right here as of right now. I'm just going to cut these into chunks. We're going to put these in. We're going to roast these tomatoes. Big nice chunks. Alright, and then we're going to take some garlic. Reach in with this hand. I'm going to take some garlic, and this is going to be a nice size soup. And right here I have 2, 4, 6. I have 6 cloves of garlic. So I'm just going to cut these in half, sprinkle them in, because we want all of this to roast. We want all of this to roast. Wipe my hands off here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some coconut oil, because we don't want our tomatoes to burn or the roasting. So we're going to use some raw, organic, virgin, it's unrefined coconut oil. And coconut oil, because of the fat content, it really helps to release the nutrients in the foods that we are making here in this broth. So I won't need to put any on the oxtails, because the oxtails are already fatty. I know people are like, oh my God, coconut oil is so unhealthy. No, it's not. You have to eat it in moderation. All right. And now what we're going to do, we are going to season. We're only going to put salt and pepper on this portion. So we're going to put a little bit of black pepper. We're going to put black pepper on everything. And remember, this is a medicinal broth, so it doesn't necessarily have to be, it needs to be flavorful, but it doesn't have to have, it doesn't require a lot of salt. So I'm using pink Himalayan sea salt, and we're just going to grind that. We're going to salt this very well because we're going to be adding water to this. Okay? So this is the first phase of our oxtail stew that we're using to heal. So I'm going to put this in the oven for about 25 minutes on 425, and that's just to release the fats and to release the healing constituents of our garlic and our tomatoes and our jalapeno peppers. So when this gets done, y'all come meet me back in the studio, and we're gonna finish this stew. All right. All right, everybody, so we're back here at the mixing station, and this is phase 2 of our oxtail broth. So in my Haitian pot that I have over here, I put about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil at the bottom of the pot. That's now warm. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use 1 medium-sized white onion, and I'm using white onion because it's bitter and it's pungent, and bitter and pungent ingredients have the most healing properties, and that's going to help dry out whatever is going on in your body. So we're going to cut this up, and listen, I'm not a chef by profession. I just cook, so don't pay any attention to my knife skills. Just know that this broth is going to be off the chain. Peel this, and we're gonna keep this kind of chunky. We eat our broths over here kind of chunky, so we're just gonna cut those. So we're just cutting our onion. We keeping it chunky over here in these bars, and baby, listen, white onion, woo! So we're gonna go ahead and put this in to our pot. So we're gonna stir this down, and y'all, I literally have tears coming out of my eyes. Like, this is crazy. But that's what white onions do, because they're so pungent and they're so strong. So the tears are coming. I have here, so that was the 1 white onion, and I have 3 stalks of celery here, and then I also have this little piece because it has the celery leaves. So we want to add this in there because there's a lot of nutrients in our celery leaves. So we're going to take these over, and I'm going to actually save these scraps because I can make a vegetable broth from those. And let's cut the ends off of this end. Always save your vegetable scraps because you can make broths from those too. And we're gonna chop up the celery. Like I said, we're gonna keep everything chunky. Some people strain their stews. I don't. So we eat everything because even though all the nutrients are going to be in the broth, the fiber and the cellulose, you still need that to help with digestion. And for those of you who feel like, oh my gosh, she's using so much oil, there's oil in the oxtail. She drenched the tomato, the garlic, and the jalapeno in coconut oil. Now she's putting oil in the bottom of this. You have to remember that with your bone broth, typically bone broths are used as the primary source of nutrition when you're sick or if you are in labor, or if you're going through chemotherapy. So you need those good fats. You need those good fats. And so some other good fatty oils would be avocado oil, would be great to use. Extra virgin olive oil, of course, great to use. Coconut oil is fabulous. Those good, rich, heavy oils, and you want to make sure that you're using cold press. And some people cook with hemp oil. Hemp oil or sustainably sourced palm oil, the red palm oil, have wonderful healing properties. So I'm just stirring the onion and the celery. And I wonder if we can get a shot of that. Alrighty. Or we can get a shot of that later. There we go. So we're going to let that sweat down. We're going to let that sweat down for a few minutes. And I just want to take a few minutes to talk about, and I have this on a hot plate, but until you get everything in the pot, we have everything going on medium high, around medium high. So I just want to talk about two very important herbal ingredients that we're going to add to this. One is a astragalus root. And I came across this root. I went to a grandma healing class, herbal class, and I learned about astragalus root. So this is a great strengthener, immune system builder, and it's just great to add to soups and stews. You can just throw them right in, and the properties, the boiling water, the heat, is going to extract those properties out of this root. So I'm going to put about 4 pieces of astragalus root in. And actually, astragalus root is one of those things, you can actually just chew it. It has like a mildly sweet taste to it, and you can just chew on it if you're sick. So I have that, and then I have some bay leaves, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people are familiar with bay leaves, but as like a flavoring agent. But bay leaves are very important to your stews as well. It also has healing properties. So we're going to add some bay leaves to this, and also we're going to add some, and actually it's 3 spices. We're going to add some paprika. Now, I know I talk trash about paprika on my Facebook page, but really paprika is a warming ingredient, and so you can, so this will also help with circulation, okay? All right, so to our onion and to our celery, I'm going to go ahead and add some paprika, just to kind of develop the paprika flavor. We're not going to add too much, so that's probably about a teaspoon and a half. And we're going to also add some sofritos to this mix. I'm going to add, if you're not familiar with sofrito is very big in Latin and Caribbean cooking. And so it's a tomato base of green peppers, onions, cilantro, garlic, and olive oil. And it just adds so much flavor. So I'm going to do like a tablespoon of sofritos. So this means that we don't need to add any more salt to this mix because it's going to be plenty. We'll have plenty of salt. We've already seasoned our oxtail, and now we're adding the sofritos, and the sofritos has salt in it. Oh my Lord, this smells so good, and this is so pretty. If Mr. Will, if you can come and get a shot of our onion, our celery, and the sofritos, and the paprika. You got that shot? Alrighty. It smells so good. I wish y'all could see, I wish y'all could smell what's going on in this studio. Alrighty. So now, what we're going to do when I come back, We're going to add, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and add a few carrots. Let's go ahead and add a few carrots. And when I come back, I'm going to have the oxtail roast to add to this marvelous stew. So we're going to add some baby carrots into this. This is just going to make it more hearty and yummy. Alrighty, so when I come back, the onions are already starting to caramelize. So if you're making this stew for somebody who, or soup for someone who is diabetic, you do not want the onions to caramelize, okay? Don't let the onions caramelize because that's just extra sugar and they'll give them a sugar rush and we don't want any problems. So you're not going to let the onions caramelize. But for everybody else, you can let those onions caramelize, and to a certain extent, the celery is also going to caramelize. All right, so when we come back, I'll have the oxtail broth base, and we're going to add that to this. All right, y'all, so looky here. I went ahead and kind of deglazed the bottom of my pot because the caramelization was like on 10. So I decaramelized the bottom of that with a little bit of water. And I want to know if, Will, can you get a shot of these oxtails that have been roasting in the oven? It's a combination of oxtail, tomato, jalapeno, peppers, and garlic. And we just did some salt and pepper on these oxtails. And oh my gosh, these things smell so good. They roasted for about 45 minutes on 425 in the oven. So now it has all of this beautiful, beautiful rendered fat. I know some vegans and stuff are like freaking out, but that's okay. I'm plant-based. But the wonderful thing about this fat is this is where a lot of the healing constituents are also in this. So remember, it is a lot of fat, but typically our broths are used as a primary source of nutrition when people are sick, if they're laboring, or they're going through chemo. So they're not eating a lot, and so they're going to need those good fats in order to help sustain them. So we're going to add this beautiful roasted concoction. We're going to add this to our Haitian pot over here. And baby, you have the, did you give me the oven mitt? Okay, you gave me the oven mitt. And so first what we're going to do, the best thing to do, we're going to scoop out our big pieces first. And we're going to set those in. We're scooping out the big pieces. We're going to scoop those in. So we're going to place those into our pot here. Oh my God, this smells so good. Are you excited about this, Will? He's like, you need to make some broth. It's time. It's that time of year. It done got cool. Come on, woman. What you waiting on? Tomatoes. Y'all, this smells so good. Oh my God. It smells so good. We're going to render this down. Is this cool? Oh, no it is not. So it has all of this beautiful rendered fat. We're going to add that into our mix. We're going to add that to our mix. Nice roasted. We're going to throw in our bay leaves and our astragalus root. And now we're going to add our water. So we're adding about 6 to 8 cups of water. If you were doing this in your crock pot, you would let it go. You can let it go overnight. Something like this, we're gonna put this on low. I'm gonna finish cooking this in our kitchen, but we'll just put it on like 1 or 2 settings, and it's just gonna slow simmer for about 3 hours. But we're going to make sure we cover it with water. And oh my goodness, y'all, oh Lord Jesus. I'm primarily plant-based, but baby, the Afro Whisperer will be taking part in this oxtail stew, oxtail broth. And we're just gonna let this slow simmer on low for about 3 hours. We want to make sure that our meat is tender and falling off the bone. And this is going to be a glorious soup, so I can't wait to put this on a bowl somewhere, in a bowl, and show y'all how beautiful. So this, all right. So I got my picture. So look, that's it. That's the gist of bone broth. So you can add any spices, ingredients that you want. This is how I make mine when I use either oxtail or bone broth or beef bone. I use some lighter ingredients when I do the chicken. When I use chicken feet, I'll add in lemon slices. But yeah, this is a bone broth, so this is going to simmer on low for about 3 to 4 hours. You might need to add a little bit more water. You just want to make sure that the meat stays covered. And once the meat is falling off the bone, you have yourself a wonderfully comforting, healing, nurturing broth. So listen, if you have any questions or comments, put them below. I'll be happy to answer them. You can hit me up on my website, www.theafrowhisperer.com. I'm the Afro Whisperer on Facebook and on Instagram. You can hit me up if you have any questions, afrowhisperer@gmail.com. Or if you would like a health consultation, you can contact me at grandrisinghwc@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please share the video and drive people to the Afro Whisperer. Thank you. Bye.